Your life is a series of actions that you initiate or don't initiate. Your thoughts are going to control that roadmap. How are you using your mind today to either make yourself feel great or not? Everyone watching this already made a decision this morning. This morning, they made it a life-changing, huge decision this morning. And that is either I'm going to get up, enter the world with no intention, go through the motions to hopefully get by or survive, or I am going to get clear in this morning about what I want, what I'm going after, who I'm going to be, how I'm going to serve, and whether or not I'm going to be excellent and extraordinary or not. And the problem is most people never make that conscious decision. Make the conscious decision about who you want to be each day. Stay congruent with that. Most people don't have a calendar. So that's problem number one. They're not strategically blocking time, moving towards the major things they want in their life. They won't say they're going through the motions, but the calendar reveals it. Like if I parachute in their life and I open up their calendar and there's nothing there, they can't possibly say they're living with purpose or intention. And that sounds so flippant to say, but I can't believe how many people, they're not planning their skill set development. They're not planning specific goal attainment on certain dates. They're just like, their calendar's completely empty and they're hoping it's gonna happen. And it's like, if you look at mine, it's like military-esque like planning. Like I'm going to hit these goals. It's going to happen. I also every morning lay in bed and I visualize what I want. Age of 20 to 26, probably 90% of the time, I would lay there and I would see myself on stages, big stages. And I would sit there and as soon as that image came up, I'd freak out. Like I'd imagine myself walking on a stage with an arena and I would literally just start sweating in bed. I'd lay there in bed, terrified, like just awfully uncomfortable because that wasn't me. So I'd lay there and I'd see myself like talking and moving on stage. If you visualize yourself on stage, people watching now or listening now, if you close your eyes and you see yourself on stage, public speaking, with no podium, no notes to 10,000 people in an arena, most people will get clammy hands and start sweating if you really see it and think about it and feel it and put yourself there for 2 to 3 minutes. I did that for 6 years for 3 to 5 minutes every morning. I'd hear myself saying something. I'd see myself moving. I'd see the audience clapping or jumping up at the end. I'd see myself moving across the stage in ways I never moved. And that visualization created that skill set. If you're a pilot and you run the simulation and it crashes 50 times, the first 10 you're mortified, the last 12 you're on the dials, And so I think just running the pattern over and over visually is really powerful. The world completely underestimates the power of visualization. The second visualization I do in the morning comes later. So I get up in the morning, I drink 20 ounces of water, I do 20 minutes of mobility, movement, and stretching every morning. Then I read for 20 minutes, something positive. For me, it's almost always a self-help book or a leadership book, almost always. Sometimes a business book, almost always self-help and leadership. Read that book. Then I go and I sit down with my high performance planner, my green tea. I fill out the day, right? I look at the blocks of time that are already scheduled. And then what I do is my second visualization, which is I look at the major blocks of time that have been scheduled and I close my eyes and I think, how do I do that thing with excellence? What would make that thing special? So I literally close my eyes and I visualize those blocks of time. And how would I do them well? That's a superpower. Most people write their day out and they just go about the day and then sometimes they come back to the plan and they go, oh my God, I didn't even do it. Because I sit there and I think about, how do I do that well? That's a game changer. I want to make sure people know emotion is not something you have, it is something you generate. Emotion can be an impulse, but feelings is our interpretations of those impulses over a period of time. And I said, I want to feel vibrancy, joy, love, connection, satisfaction, fulfillment in my life. So I'm going to learn to generate those emotions. How do you learn to generate the emotions? You read psychology. How do you learn to generate the emotions? You try. Like you're just like, I'm going to go, we're going to have date night tonight. I'm going to make it a fun night. I'm gonna make it a fun night. I'm gonna do things to see, can I make people laugh? Can I make people turn their lights on? You learn to control your own emotions or deal with them in better ways as you decide to be a more mature person. Make sure you teach yourself to generate the positive emotions, because what happens is if you don't teach yourself to generate the positive emotions as well, then what ends up happening is you burn out, or you become a cliche of the person who had it all and never felt fulfilled. 3 things I want you to do every day. First, I want you to write 10 prompts for the morning for yourself. 10 prompts. Those prompts for you might say, how can I be a great mother today? How can I show appreciation to someone on my team today? It might say, how do I care for my health today? It might say, 3 words I want to keep in mind all day. The message I have for myself today is this. The most difficult thing I'm going to face today would be this, and the best way my best self could overcome it is this. 2 big long-term projects to keep in mind are this, right? Those, write down 10 prompts. So the high performance planner begins in the morning. There's the 10 prompts that we know correlate with long-term success that we've measured. There they are. So I fill that out every morning. Second thing I want you to do, at the end of the night, 10 more prompts. What did I learn about myself today? What did I learn about other people today? Did I demonstrate my best today? Where did I not? Where did I get stuck? Where did I get frustrated? What negative thought did I have today that I don't need to have anymore? How did I treat people today? Did I move as swiftly towards my goals today? That type of thing. But the other piece about it is at night, I do the scorecard. So for me, it's the 6 habits of high performance now: clarity, energy, necessity, productivity, influence, and courage. And so there's the word clarity, and it says, was I very clear about exactly what I need to do today to move forward? Score 1 to 5. And so what you got to do, the third thing I want to do, build your scorecard for the end of the night. And your scorecard might say dad. Your scorecard might say leader. Your scorecard might say specific. But what I've made it is habit driven. So it's generate energy. Did I generate the energy I needed today to deliver my best? Productivity. Did I avoid distraction today and only focus on the needle moving activities? The human brain has an incredible capacity for guilt. And most people unconsciously let that roll over them and kick their butt and make a horrible life. I love guilt. Guilt is a tool. Guilt is a weapon. Guilt does not have to be a bad thing. It's not like I perpetuate, but I'm like, I love that I feel bad when I don't do a good job. Most people hate that about themselves. I love that feeling. I'm like, I didn't do a good job there. Next time I will. So some people, guilt is discouragement. Other people, it's a signal for learning. To me, guilt is a signal for learning. It is the body and the brain, the spirit, knowing what is right, knowing what is wrong, knowing what's great, knowing what's mediocre. And it's saying, hey, do a little better. I think it's good that we feel bad when we do something that is below our standard or that's not right, because that impulse to go, I want to do that better. Number one, what we're really talking about here is contemplation. Really thinking through and using the power of thought of what you want to be like, what are the skills you want to deliver, what's the service you want to offer to the world. Number 2, the consistency of action to not only create that in your own body and your own mind, but start creating that result in the world. That's really important. Number 3 is courage, because it takes courage to put yourself out there and try to get a little better. It was even just laying in bed, visualizing myself doing something on stage that was way outside my boundaries of comfort, walk across the stage really fast, walk down to the audience and give high fives and, say something strong or, admit something or share something vulnerable. That's courage. That's scary.